Jess.
Hi, Lauren.
It's cold AF. We're in winter.
Oh my God.
I wish I would have put up a little Christmas tree back here. Yeah.
Do a little seasonality thing.
In our studio. Okay, so they're like pumping it out. We have a lot. Jessica, also, by the way, Vanderpump Rules premieres tonight.
I know. And there's something else this week that I just saw on
Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
They're trying to kill us.
Trying to kill me. I know. We're gonna.
Seriously, but what are they going to have when this is all done? This is not staggered at all.
No.
Like, we're going to get to
We're
like
gonna have a
March,
drought.
and it's going to be like nothing.
It's gonna be a below deck.
It's going to be below deck summer, folks. Get ready. Okay, so speaking of all we have, Salt Lake City, Southern Charm, episode 2, Real Housewives of OC, final moments on the reunion. Thank God that one's done.
Yes.
Pototo fell asleep during that last episode. Not sure what we're going to talk about with that.
Yeah.
But we'll cover it.
Do you think Stacey's gonna get first chair?
She's the only interesting thing that's going on.
Right? And then just Giselle being the OG.
Yeah.
Gets the other one, even though she's literally not even involved.
Because Angel's not coming back. Angel's not going to have a second season. They're not going to.
Will Angel even film the reunion?
And I read this about Kiarna, and I actually agreed. Somebody said this. Her range is one. It's one-dimensional.
Yeah.
It's I'm happy and I'm pissed. There's no nuance to anything. And because her range is just so the same, she's hard to carry anything.
Yeah.
Because it's just like she just gets mad.
Yes. I know.
Or she's totally happy. Hey, girl, how you doing? And then it's like, oh, now I'm mad.
Her and her mom are twins.
Everyone's saying the mom should have been cast. The mom would have dropped some more tea on Greg.
Did you see this most recent episode cut to a photo when we saw like Kay's brother came over, and they cut to a photo of them as kids, and I was like, that is Kiarna. As like you can tell the cheekbones, like those are natural. She had those cheekbones as a child. It was she was funny. A really cute little kid.
Okay, but we're starting with Salt Lake.
Okay,
Jessica.
sorry.
God.
As we say, Potomac was boring, and I just watched it.
So Bravo of the headline with Salt Lake. Jared and Britani have hard launched. They're back together on Instagram. Did you see that?
Yes, I did, And you saw how 5 days prior, someone had commented, don't ever talk to him again. And she's like, don't worry, I won't. And then it was them with their like little Thanksgiving post. They're the
Toxic.
most middle school juvenile relationship I've ever seen in an adult.
She wants to be with him, period.
Yes.
But she knows that she has to like kind of throw these boundaries around for him to like stay in check.
It was actually Venita said it on Southern Charm about Sally, where she's like, Sally centers men like nobody else. That's Britani. Britani centers the man, and like she is so desperate for his attention and love.
We know where Venita got that, right?
Where?
Giggly Squad, the coffee table book that they put together.
Really?
Yeah, they talk about that apparently in there.
Oh.
I haven't seen it, but yes.
Oh, that's hilarious. She's like subtly quoting Giggly Squad because she hates Craig.
Yeah, just loves Paige. Okay, so that was the headline I saw. We start this episode back at Valter. So that's the name of your
Valters. I couldn't remember. I was like, it's not Victor.
Yeah, it's Valters with a V. So let's see. I love they were basically quizzing Meredith at this lunch to try and figure out if she was with it or not.
Yeah.
The Crazy Rich Asians ending, all of it. We've never seen this before.
Yeah.
Where it's weird, Jessica, because it's like they don't just come out and say, well, Whitney does at the very end.
Yeah.
But they don't come out and just say right off the bat, you know, you have a problem, you're an alcoholic, you were drinking too much, which is usually the housewife way of operating.
Yeah.
Instead, they're trying to quiz her to get her to believe that she was
it was just done in such a Salt Lake City way, and it was cracking me up. And then I feel like Meredith was sitting there like glaring at Lisa when Lisa's like, oh, and then he showed up at the airport, and Meredith's like, you're proving that I should remember the ending. Like, stop it.
But I think Lisa was like trying to help. Like, oh yeah, we know.
Yeah.
Interesting too that when they get off the plane, they had to stand in customs.
Yeah. Commercial.
So where was Meredith during that time, you know?
That's what, yeah. Well,
Lisa was standing back, must have been separate of them. They were trying to say, you knew that you were part of a foul 4 hours. And instead of coming and standing with us, you knew something was wrong and you distanced yourself.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, why wouldn't you stand with us during this 5-hour ordeal of trying to get through customs?
Right,
and Lisa tries to suggest, I have global entry and I should have had it on my... And that's just like a side weird Lisa thing, right? Like, we're all like, okay, we're not tracking.
Yeah.
I feel like what's interesting with Meredith is like, it's so coded. Everything is so like lawyer speak. And you know what they said about her online, which I didn't totally realize, but she never actually practiced law. She just studied and I think passed the bar.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think she actually...
More than Craig can say.
Right. More than Kim Kardashian can say.
Oh, poor
She's
Kim.
failed the bar a bunch of times. Poor Kimmy. But the idea that she's practiced, I don't think is true. So how are you this like coded in your words?
Right. It hasn't been your career for the last 20 years that like... That it's just crazy that that's how she naturally speaks. Do you see the guy I sent you on Instagram where he does amazing impressions of the Salt Lake City women?
Yes.
The way he gets their mannerisms but he does it in like fake. He's like, if they were at the middle school dance, this is how Brittany would behave, Whitney would be, and his Meredith is so funny to me.
Cut to Brittany and Lisa having lunch. Brittany says this very odd thing to Lisa, which is, this is the 6th most traumatic thing that's happened to me. 6.
Well,
first of all, we saw her...
Didn't you call her out for Brittany saying this is the most traumatic?
To Jared.
Yeah, and you're like, what about your children? So now she's like, maybe I need to reorder my traumas.
I kind of want to know what the other ones were.
Let's have her list them.
I mean, her daughter is definitely one of them.
It's gotta be.
One and two.
And that therapy session.
So now we're down to 3, 4, 5. We
are all
unsure.
Jared? Her divorce?
So what is your take on all this? Because there's a lot of like talk.
Yeah.
I feel like people are finally wising up. Why did no one switch with Brittany? Why did they not call the flight attendant to intervene?
Yeah.
Why was there no filming?
Yeah, I mean, I think last week hit the nail on the head where Brittany's just like, this is my moment. I am going to play this up. I am going to milk it for all it's worth so that I am not the end of the couch.
Right.
Even though, is she still friend of? Why can't I remember? Or does she have an intro?
No, she doesn't have a, no.
She doesn't have a snowflake?
No. So... I feel like at the end of it, do you think they're going to play this at the reunion?
It'd be amazing.
But you know what?
Wonder if it'll just be producer audio, like a producer just starts filming
it.
And it won't be, we don't have visual, but we will have audio.
And what if it's true that Meredith didn't do that much? Like, what if that's the flip?
Oh, yeah, we all
instead of everyone being like, we knew it, you're horrible. It's like, all of a sudden it's like, there was not that much.
That was nothing. Yeah. Ugh.
Could you imagine?
I'll really have to change my tune if that's the case.
Side note, Whitney and Heather moving that mattress. That was like Garcelle and Sutton.
Heather having to make up a storyline. Like, let me get rid of my marital bed.
And it was gross.
Ew.
Fat.
And did they need an entire U-Haul for that one thing? I was like, what else are they moving?
I know.
And then her dressing up like it was a funeral. I was like,
it was
you're doing
so weird.
Too much.
It's for your storyline.
Yeah.
So then Brittany and Olivia go to therapy, right? Olivia is so mature.
I know. This is horrible, but at times I was like, she's so together? Did she like practice knowing it was going to be filmed?
Also,
there were some lines. I was like, whoa, that was really well thought out.
I would have practiced if I was that age, if I was 20 going on TV. Also, the fact that she's got a confessional.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's... Yeah. I think when you get confessionals, it's you're in it. Mm-hmm. Like you wanna make sure this is on. And but I read online somebody who had a similar problem with their parent, and they said sometimes, you know, it's so hard talking to your parent. Like this person was like, I only would have reconciled with my mom had it been filmed because I want the receipts of who said what. And she's like, maybe that's why Olivia agreed to it, to like actually just have, you know, other opinions on it because it's so it's such a vacuum kind of back and forth of what happens. I thought that was really interesting. But it's also really sad that like, you know, Olivia can talk about it so confidently now, meaning like, this is what happened. I know what's happened. Can you imagine being those kids and your mom favors the stepchildren above you?
I know.
The only thing I can think of with that is I think that there's some domestic violence that was happening with Brittany. Oh. So maybe she was doing that as a way to try and protect herself. Like if she shows him, because otherwise how heartbreaking. Anyway, let's see. The last thing then we have Meredith and Brittany on the bridge. Now I texted you this. Her pupils were tiny points on that bridge. And
she had to medicate to have that conversation.
I was like, tell me I'm wrong to ChatGPT. And ChatGPT's like, well, there's a variety of reasons of why her pupils could be so small. But then I took a picture of Brittany, who was in the same light, same location. And I said, well, this is someone else who's sitting in this location. And ChatGPT was like, oh, yeah, there's something going on there. Because how eyes are blue, which you have blue eyes. So, like, the light hits the eyes and you react harsher to light. Yeah. But the pupils were tiny.
Little pinpoints.
Little pinpoints.
Yeah.
The other thing is we're now starting to see Watch What Happens live footage that came out of them at the holiday special. So for those that didn't know, like BravoCon, they filmed a Housewives holiday tribute, which was like a lot of Lisa Barlow singing Away in the Manger. And then Meredith was DJing, very, very like but not at all. Also singing.
Speaking? What do we call it?
It was side of the mouth, speaking.
Did she just have a dental procedure and she could like only talk out on one side?
And it felt very off, like off in the tone and the tune.
Well, yes, it was not in tune at all.
None of them really. Lisa Barlow was not in tune either.
No. My only defense was that she was so nervous and was like so stiff doing it. But it was like she looked very medicated again.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
Like, because
not normal reaction time.
Like robotic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, it was complex. She had a complex line. It was not just like fa la 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 la.
Did she know?
It was like, if you come for my family, I'll say you can leave. She had to hit the beat, Jessica. So I don't know. Maybe we're overreaching, but only time will tell, right?
We're now, everything we see is adding to our hypothesis.
We're conspiracy theorists about it.
I know. And the one other little scene we got was Bronwyn with her daughter and her mom. And I was just like, I'm not shocked at all. Bronwyn wants people around her because she can't just be alone with just Todd. Yeah. Like, it's so obvious. I'm not saying she doesn't love her daughter. I think they have an extremely close bond because of her young age and everything they went through. But there's a lot more to her just not being ready for her daughter to, like a little scary, like a little, nest.
Well, the weird part,
like, don't leave me here with him. Please, don't go.
Well, if my husband watched me say some of those snarky comments, like Muzzy saying,
don't tempt me with a good time.
Yeah, my husband would be like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So something's going to happen here because remember last season she got so chastised by him that they went to the reunion and like, we repaired our relationship and we redid our vows and like, he promised me things.
She doesn't care anymore.
So I wonder if if there's going to be a divorce or maybe they're already working on that agreement.
Right. Yeah, I think she's letting it all hang out so that when the inevitable breakup or whatever, everyone will side with her going, we saw how he treated you.
Right.
She's not protecting him anymore. And nor should she. He sucks.
Let's go to Southern Charm.
Alrighty.
Okay, so Bravo on the headline for Southern Charm is that, I don't know if have seen this, but Taylor is saying that Sally had a boyfriend the entire time of this season's filming.
Yes.
So there's like a little beef going back and forth. And somebody wrote basically that Sally's behavior is giving Taylor
energy or something.
Yes. Yeah. And Taylor immediately jumped on that and said, I didn't have a boyfriend filming this entire time. I didn't go after a married doctor with a wife. So Taylor's like not taking this lying down.
Yeah.
Interesting how much they dislike Sally. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
I don't know.
I don't like Sally right now.
I don't either.
Jumping into it, but that whole beach thing, I was loving it that Craig was like into Charley. That's what you get. That's what you get with like not backing your friend Venita at all. But I've seen a ton. Obviously, BravoCon only happened a few weeks ago. Venita, Sally, and Rodrigo were attached to the hip at BravoCon. They're all buddies. So Venita and Rodrigo are saying a lot in confessionals right now about Sally, and clearly they come back around.
But they're all going to try for that Charley now.
Yeah.
And Sally's going to be out faster than she was in.
Yeah.
And this is the problem, right, with those boys is they all kind of look at women as like, who's going to get her? And then when she's gotten, they move on.
Don't care anymore.
Remember Catherine? Poor Catherine Dennis?
Yeah.
They had the same thing going on.
I loved, though, that Charley was dissing Shep so much. She's like, it's kind of like texting your dad. It's like, thank you. Can we admit it is now officially gotten creepy? Shep is such a weirdo. Did you catch when they were baby? This might have been the other episode that we already talked about, but I forgot to say it. When Shep got to that baby store to shop for Madison first.
And he was so cheap.
And, well, that. And he was talking to the woman, and then he walked away, and the woman was like, so awkward. Did you catch that? They left it in. The owner of the store was like, so awkward. He gives such weird energy.
I continuously am shocked by how creepy he is, because I think we were painted such an image early on of him being such a playboy. He'd be a Clooney, gray hair, classy, all the women want to date you. You're not. You're a very creepy uncle. But remember, Thomas Ravenel?
Yeah.
He had more game than Shep.
Right.
And he was an older dude hanging around way too young at kids.
Yeah.
But there was something manly and kind of he smokes a cigar and he drinks a whiskey. Yeah. And I say that now, even knowing all the weird stuff we know about Thomas Ravenel after the fact.
Right.
Yeah. He also just thinks women are going to fall.
He still thinks he's God's gift.
Yes. And it's dude, you got to know your limits.
Yeah. Him saying he doesn't give wedding gifts, I was like, oh my God, that tracks so hard. He thinks him attending is the present.
Can we also talk about, this is I have a bone to pick at this point with this group of people. The name recognition of oh, I'm a Boykin or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And we were around since the Revolutionary War. First of all, a lot of us were around since the Revolutionary War. If we tracked our families back, right, there's probably somebody in every family was around in the early days.
We were all around. Where were we located?
Maybe we didn't have the same freaking last name throughout all the years, but we were around.
I just don't understand why it's such a flex that your family's been in the same area for that many years. Well, I don't get it.
The reason why I know it's not a flex is now we have Whitner. Which I thought was a nickname for Whitney when they first said it. Whitner, okay. Gretchers, Whitner.
We have a fun new nickname.
But Whitner completely blows all this out of the water. He's my family was around in the beginning.
Loved when he's like, Shep will tell you.
Yeah,
I don't really talk about it.
Yeah, why do you care now? I'm like, why do we care about it? I agree, Whitner.
We don't. I like Whitner. I think he's cute. Sorry, Whitner is a bigger catch than Corey.
Of course. But Southern Charm, a little bit, until Charley came on the scene, has become the last man standing. Who's left in the group that I can try and date?
Yeah.
And this Charley coming on is nice because it's
fresh
here's
blood.
a lovely young woman, right? That we can actually see how these relationships play out, not just who's left in the cast today.
Yeah.
We got rid of Taylor, we got rid of Olivia, Danny, Catherine, Leva,
Lev Whitney, not Whitner, Whitney.
Okay, so first of all, also I want to say about Charley, all those boys compare notes and they're like, oh, she's cute. I'm like, this girl is one of the most beautiful girls I've seen in recent memory.
I know.
In recent memory, and all they can muster up is, oh, she's cute.
They can't be too complimentary.
No, because that would show too much of their hand.
Shows your cards.
Yes. Yeah. Poor Venita, too, sets up the entire party. Buys it all, sets it all up. Makes it cool for Sally.
And yet it's Sally's party.
Yeah. I don't know. Poor Venita. I saw something with Sierra, and she was kind of backing Venita. She said, you can't even imagine how it feels to be the only Black girl on a Southern cast, and nobody supports her really. And it's I feel so bad for Venita. Yeah. For some reason, the picking of the decorations and setting them up for Sally, knowing that Sally is going to
then flock to Craig.
That's the trope in high school when you get the nerd to do your homework.
I know.
I just feel bad for her. It's Venita's way too cool, way too pretty. Yeah. She's on the wrong cast. She's got to get to New York.
I will allow on Summer House.
She should be on Summer House.
I will allow that crossover. I know we always say not everybody gets to be on Summer House. Yeah. I think she would be a good, and she's Miss Fashion. What is she doing in Charleston?
She's beautiful.
Get to New York.
She's so trendy.
Yeah. I want her to do a shift.
So Charley to me is giving Paige vibes, by the way, a little bit with Craig. Yeah. A little bit that man needs. Mean. Yeah. That man needs someone a little mean. I think that's where Sally misstepped, I will say.
Oh, well, Sally just seems to throw herself.
She's too easy. Yeah. That man needs a little bit of somebody dogging him.
Yep.
The last thing I'll say about this episode, so Madison, I thought was so funny, sitting on her perch, and
her and Rodrigo discussing the men's bodies was like one of my favorite, where they were like, look at those little nipples.
She's like so close to being pregnant. We know how that all feels. She's
drinking her NA beer.
Drinking NA, hoping to God it gives you some sort of level buzz
some buzz that you know ain't beer coming. Gives you,
and it's not coming. And she single-handedly stirs up more drama, sitting from that perch, super pregnant, than anybody else in the episode.
What are your thoughts on the Austin Audrey, what we're seeing of their relationship? Well, she seems tired.
Audrey?
Yeah.
Like of him?
Just tired.
Like the traffic?
She's like reminding me of Angel.
I think every girl needs to see progress. Like, that's the bottom line, right? Yeah. They need to feel like the relationship is moving somewhere. Yeah. And he so clearly does not want it to move anywhere. Madison's like, oh, so are you getting bored? Like on the next week we see. And it's like, you're getting bored, dude, because now should be the moment that you decide who's going to move in with who.
Right. I know every time Austin, clearly I know producers are sitting there asking the questions and the prompts in those confessionals, and they clearly are like, have you talked about it? He is like gleeful to say, it doesn't come up. It does, like, loves that it doesn't come up, and it's like
that doesn't have to answer
but
to
that
any of it.
won't last forever.
No. Well, now that Madison's put that bug in her ear, right? If I'm that girl, I'm flying to the moon and back. I'm so irritated about that. Yeah. Because now he's gonna film with this girl for the next 3 months. Yeah. And I'm gonna be in, where is she? South?
She's in Charlotte, North Carolina. But it's drivable. It's not that far.
Anyway, I don't think any woman would be okay with hearing that and then being like, okay, see you next weekend.
Yeah, in a long distance relationship.
And don't talk to Sally.
Oh my God, Sally's body. I was just sitting there, literally, I was eating potato chips. And I was just like, why don't I look like that?
I know, clearly, I feel like some Ozempic happened.
So good, yeah.
She looks amazing. I mean, they all looked amazing. I do think they have all gotten quite thin, all the women. Mm-hmm. Which is just set out of jealousy.
Yep. But I agree. I'm like, what are you injecting yourself with to look like that?
Okay, what should we move on to next? Anything else on Southern Charm?
No. But let's do OC.
Oh yeah, OC Reunion. Okay, OC Reunion. The biggest takeaway I have on this, which I think a lot of people have picked up, is how is Gretchen getting off so easy with these likes of this post. Yeah. Because apparently, separate of this cast, Variety have already captured screenshots years ago of her liking these posts. Okay. Before she was even a housewife again. Whoa. Because they brought it up, whatever publication it was, brought it up to say, she's coming back as a housewife. Did everyone see that she liked all these posts? Yeah. Yeah. So this whole thing is just shocking to me. I mean, Andy, it's like, dude, you are gay, and she actively is like hating on your stuff.
Wonder, because I was very surprised. Andy even at one point said, you're allowed to have your opinions. And I wonder if they're actually trying to, they as in Bravo, are trying to like dispel that like kind of stereotype, and like everyone assumes everyone's liberal on the shows. And I think they almost want to be like, no, we do have a wide range of people on the show. Everyone said Kelly Dodd got kicked off because of her Republican views. There were some women, one or two of the New York women had ended up being Republican, you know, like this whole travesty. And that's the thing on Bravo. Everyone acts like they've outed you if they're like, she voted for Trump. And
like the Valley, that whole Republican story.
Yes, like they called Michelle a Republican.
Like, oh God, you know.
Over half the country is Republican, and so I do wonder if, as much as Andy would obviously not agree with any of that stuff, and he's totally the other side and liberal, but I think he almost is trying to be like, no, you don't have to be this like cookie cutter views to be a housewife.
Okay, but Jessica, I agree with you, but here's the split for me. You can promote something without creating an anger towards something else, meaning like Heather promotes her kids and inclusivity and all of that. So she promotes it. That's like positive. If she was actively hating on straight people, then that would be the flip of it, right? Yeah. So she's not doing that. She's just promoting what she thinks. Right. So Gretchen is promoting Christianity. That's her vibe. She is Miss Christianity. She's Miss Jesus. They're praying live on camera.
Right.
That's the pro of it. But what I don't think you're going to have is the hate associated of like, if you're not this way, then I don't like you. And I think that's where Bravo needs to walk that line more clearly.
Right.
I agree with what you're saying, by the way.
No.
Like, somewhere, somebody in production's like, she's got to be able to have her opinion.
Yeah.
But to me, it was a hate. It's like, we don't allow hate.
Well, speaking to that, I never looked into it, but I did see, allegedly, Heather Dubrow posted something along the lines of like, oh, I've been busy, didn't catch what's been happening the day like Charlie Kirk was shot and killed.
Oh, really?
So she did like who cares that he died? And it's like, well, now that's going to the other side of being hate.
Right.
Celebrating someone's death versus, and you're making a great distinction. We can always promote the positivity, whatever
of everyone's viewpoint, but when you start to get in like, no, I don't like you because of that viewpoint. And that's where I think Gretchen, clearly someone coached her on like Christianity and kind of that trad wife, like pro kind of vibe and other things. First of all, Emily and Tamara really fought a lot. I didn't have that in my bingo card that Emily and Tamara are going to fight so much. They fought more than like, Tamara and Shannon. Yeah.
Well, Tamara just wouldn't let Shannon make a noise or a movement without her being like, I was like, oh my God, Tamara is so juvenile. Like doing those like little faces back at her, imitating her. I was like, oh, Tamara, like you just want to like shake her and be like, stop. You don't come across well when you do that, Tamara.
So Tamara, a couple of things on her. One, I feel like she took a Xanax because she was very subdued in certain parts where I thought she was going to lose it.
Okay. Parts, yeah.
I thought she was going to be hot the entire time. I thought there were moments when I was like, Tamara, do you have anything to say to that? Like, Tamara, come alive.
Are you listening?
We need you.
Honestly, I'm team neither. They both drive me nuts and I'm so sick of it. But Tamara did not do herself any favors when Andy would be like, but you bring up stuff from the past. She'd always be like, when? And it was like, which one should we cut to? The way Tamara can't see what she does.
Both of them. You're totally right.
Is beyond me. I was like, Tamara.
The other thing, too, when they reveal that Tamara's been talking to bloggers. It just gets weird because where else could this be coming from?
I know.
You know? And then everyone's like, it's Slade. And it's like, come on. I mean, the bloggers are fickle, but they're not going to just create things out of thin air from Slade. Right. They would reveal that Slade was trying to do that to Tamara.
They would be like, Slade told me to pretend Tamara.
They would be like, let me tee this up for you. Yeah. Like, let me be diabolical. They would reveal all of that. Yeah. So Tamara has no excuse. She just is like sitting there with her mouth open. I mean, that was one of the best gotcha moments I feel like Bravo's had in recent years.
Yeah, I did love that. They're like, let's cut to after filming.
She also can't walk off because that would have been the fourth time of her quitting.
How many times did she quit? Were you following Gretchen's deep dive diagnostic stuff saying the accounts were attached to Tamara? I wasn't following.
I think what the cyber report was trying to say was that Tamara either created or had people create fake accounts that were
and Tamara was like the only one that followed it or was the only one who ever reposted or found it.
They were able to show that they're not real people, that they were created or whatever.
Okay. I know it's like deep sigh again. I can't with
and
these
then
storylines.
Here's the bottom line with all this too. It's like all these women have these excuses that are so paper thin, but then Katie can't say anything to excuse anything that she's done without them jumping down their throat.
Yeah, I know.
And so Tamara gets caught speaking to bloggers, but they still kind of walk away being like, that's just Tamara. Versus Katie's like, we're not going to film with you ever again.
That's also what I was just doing.
I wrote down, Katie, speak up.
Yeah.
You know.
Can one of these women, can we just have a good old-fashioned divorce storyline next year? I mean... God, I can't. What is the cast shakeup? Like, what
we
is
need
it?
We
know Vicky comes on. So what is the change?
Yeah, it can't just be Tamara again. It cannot be.
It can't be this cast plus Vicky. Like, it can't.
It can't. No.
Can Heather be out? Would that ever happen? Would that ever happen?
I was going to say, if the ratings are there, they're not going to do anything with it.
Bring on Beverly Hills. I mean,
we're ready for that.
I am ready. And we get Rachel Zoe. Like, it's going to be so good. It's going to be interesting. I mean, I watched her show back in the day when Brad Goreski was her assistant.
Oh my God. Love Brad. One of the things that was the rumor back in the day was that anybody who became her client, Lindsay Lohan, Nicole Richie, do you remember this? They all went through extremely skinny spells. And it was all when they were her client.
Because she
is herself very thin.
Maybe like pushing you in these outfits, being like, well, that would look a little better if
you just lost a little. But no. Okay, let's go on to Potomac.
Yes.
All right, so we ended technically still at Pride, and they're bringing kind of up the fact that Stacey is dating Chris Samuels. I mean, what do you think of this Chris Samuels storyline? Let's just get right into it. This is the best we got.
I know. Like we said, it's irrelevant because she's back with her husband. If Stacey was still single and dating and on the prowl, little bit more of a storyline. She's back with her husband, so maybe this happened 2 months ago. She went on 2 dates with Chris Samuels, didn't pan out. Like, I don't care. And I love Monique. They all want Monique to blow up about it, and she doesn't.
She said, I divorced him, so I would expect him to be dating.
Yeah, love it. Monique is so chill about it.
I've completely done a 180 on her.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. I'm looking at still Pride stuff. Okay, let's talk about this Cookie character. Cookie, first of all, needs to be on the show at this point. Why are we not getting Cookie on this show? Cookie's clearly in everyone's business. Karen Huger, Chris Samuels.
Yeah. But then Monique has a lot to say about her.
I know, she'd be a perfect addition. Also, just get Cookie, if you go on her Instagram page, underneath her name, it says socialite. That's her profession. That's like anything about her. It just says socialite.
She's not really giving socialite.
Yeah, she's not. But she knows everybody. She's in everyone's
business.
That's
true. She's in everybody's business. That's for sure.
I think Cookie is not lying. This idea that Cookie's a liar and like everything's getting spun, I don't think she's a liar. I think she's a pot stirrer.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't think she didn't strike me as someone who is like trying to get lies out there.
That's true. And Stacey has proven to be a liar.
Multiple accounts.
Multiple times. But it's cracking me up that anything Stacey does that in a way is proving innocence. And then Ashley goes, texts, those can be manipulated, bad receipts or whatever. Chris Samuels says, I don't know what you're talking about. And they're like, he's just confused. Like, they will not believe that Stacey did not do that. And it's just hilarious where anyone else comes with, like, texts like that. Like, she literally was like, he's going, hit me up. Why are you ignoring me? And they're like, no, they talked. They for sure talked.
Well, even when Stacey's in her confessional now, she like says stuff. I'm like, that's a lie. Like when she was implying about her sex life, she was saying, oh, it was so dry. And now the quote was, now it's raining. I wanted to be like, that's a lie. That's a lie. There's no way that TMO or whatever his name is sitting there and having this amazing sex with you. Stacey's a great cast. Let's just be real. She gives a lot of quirks that I'm like, tell me more, Stacey, because I'm like interested by it. I don't know if you caught this. Like, she doesn't know how to say the Nigerian name of her weed gummies.
Yeah.
Has to be corrected on that. Yeah. She's like, oh, thank you for correcting me.
I know. She goes, I would love my Nigerian sisters to correct me. She's delusional in a great housewives way.
Yes.
I do agree with Andy. She's a great cast.
She's a great cast. Also, why is Wendy such good friends with Stacey? So ride or die. I never got that. What the connection was there.
I don't know. Honestly, I wonder if Wendy just went, Stacey's getting a lot of screen time and is like, I'll be the one to go.
Wendy does seem like, I'm just going to laugh at Stacey.
Yeah.
She's not laughing with her. No. She's kind of laughing at her.
She's laughing at her.
And Stacey kind of seems to take it. Let's go to the 10 million download party. So, oddly, how
many downloads do we have?
We have thousands.
In comparison to 10 million? Okay,
millions.
Yeah.
But interesting, so Robin does not show up to her own damn party.
And you heard Giselle say she feels a type of way about how she left this show.
Yeah.
As in, was fired, I guess.
So she's like, I don't care that Bravo got me this spot, got me the podcast. I'm mad that I got fired, so I'm not going to show up. Unpaid.
Well, maybe that was it. But in my mind, and obviously I don't know how you feel when that all goes down and that's like been your livelihood for a long time. I almost feel like it would have been quite a triumphant return to be like, I'm coming back to celebrate my successful podcast. I'm not even on the show anymore.
I agree. And here's the thing. You could have made that. You could have, if fans tuned in to see Robin, that could have been the case study to get Robin back on the show.
I know. I think that was a miss. She should have shown up.
It's just that pouty ass Nene. Remember Nene Leakes?
Yeah.
She was like very much like that. When she got fired, it was
You'll never see me again.
It was like, Andy, keep my name out of your mouth. Yeah. Like that whole vibe. And it's like, but Nene, if he talks about you, people remember how amazing you are. And then you come back. Robin, I think, had the wrong thought on it as well.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to say is Charisse. Charisse looked amazing.
She is always popping up. She's another,
she's a socialite. She's a socialite.
She knows everybody.
And you know that they tried to ask her back on a few times, and she said no.
I bet she's declined.
She said no, which is why she doesn't care about filming, because she's like, oh, no, I've said no.
Yeah. Even though, don't you worry, though, I'll call Chris Samuels live.
And she was so quick with him. She's like, it's a yes or it's a no.
So good.
Okay, can we talk about also with one thing with Stacey? Her storyline is that her daughter doesn't know that her and her husband are back together. That seems fake.
Yeah.
Because the daughter is like filming with them.
Is she just like, they got divorced and this is what divorced parents do?
But he's living with them. Jessica,
no, she said he's not.
But he's over at the house.
But again, we don't believe anything Stacey says.
I don't believe this. I don't believe this. Yeah. I think this is yet another storyline. That they weren't even
I love how she's like, we just told my daughter we're divorced, and now that we're back together, we can't tell her because we are the parents. Yeah, and you're making a whole confusing mess out of it.
But she's wearing the ring. Yeah. I mean, you can't tell me that they're not handsy with each other in front of that daughter.
Right.
And the daughter's like 14. It's like the daughter knows.
Yeah.
The daughter's like, what are you guys doing?
Stop hiding.
Okay, Angel.
Yes. Giselle just summarized it, and maybe you said it too. Giselle at the 10 million party just goes, Angel has a very delayed reaction about everything. And so you're always confused that she's still mad. You're like, that was like 2 episodes ago, Angel. Like, we don't care. Did you see the mid-season?
Yeah, the Colorado
it looks like
trip
they go, and that's like her, because that's like they're going out to their old house. But you saw
that there's clips of the stuff isn't right.
Right, that a lot. I know that she's going to be like a horrible host, or that these women, she's going to regret ever bringing them all.
Remember when everyone went to Heather from
Berkshire,
but it was her home that didn't have air conditioning, and Ramona buys the air conditioning.
Ordered an air conditioning.
It seems like we're in that level of problem with Angel coming up.
I know. It's gonna be amazing.
The last thing I want to say about Potomac, Wendy's mom yelling how she's enjoying Wendy's money. I feel like FBI must have been like, clip that.
Bravo is so shady, including all that stuff. Also, that mom is on Ozempic.
Yep, she looks like in her too.
She used to be.
She looked amazing. Big. I mean, honestly, God bless these people for getting on Ozempic. I'm like, why am I sitting here struggling, not eating carbs? Give me some Ozempic. Come on.
I was literally talking to a coworker about that because we were talking about other people at our company that we saw recently at our convention, and was like, damn. And she's like, they're all on Ozempic. She goes, meanwhile, I'm busting my ass at the gym, losing a pound and gaining it back my entire life.
Right. Working really hard just to be 10 pounds overweight.
Yeah.
That's what I've seen. Yeah.
That's the track I'm on. Yeah.
I mean, good for her, but that money comment, that was like, ooh, yikes.
It's so cringe.
And then do you see that next week, Wendy and Eddie sit down and go, how do you think this is going to affect our marriage?
Well, that's part of the mid-season trailer. So that might be later. I wonder if they're going to do a post-filming.
Oh, pick up the cameras?
But Wendy is smart with the whole, like, this is a thing, I can't speak on it, so I don't know if she'll talk about it, because it definitely didn't happen while filming.
Right, it didn't. We would have seen that in the beginning part of the season. Now Andy has the moment where he sits down with Karen. We saw that in the mid-season trailer. I don't give a fuck. I just don't.
Really?
Here's the thing. Andy traveling all the way to Karen's house and having to sit down with her. We've never seen that, Jessica.
That's true. They've had to come to him.
100%.
Teresa had to go to the studio. I remember hers in the Watch What Happens Live studio.
Yeah, they go to Watch What Happens Live. We've never had Andy travel to a housewife's home.
Yeah.
And like sit with her and be like, girl, like Oprah. It's like an Oprah move. Like, girl, what do you think happened?
This is an Oprah and the Duchess.
And then Karen's going to have some like pre-scripted I was addicted to alcohol, but I'm still going to probably drink. If she's going to call herself an alcoholic, like, that means no drinking.
Yes. Yeah.
Other than, like, the Southern Charm cast, who calls themselves that and then continues to drink. So, Jessica, what are the kids talking about these days?
Well, this is related to Gen Z and their shopping habits, you know, time we're getting into Christmas shopping and all that.
Yes, good, seasonal.
So, yes, they're saying that this generation is really shaping, you know, trends of shopping. By 2030, this generation is going to have $12 trillion in spending power, which is wild. But this is, so 13 to 28-year-olds. They, in, you know, some survey they took, they're expected to cut their holiday spending by 23% this year. And so retailers are like, like...
Wait, who's cutting the spending?
Gen Zers.
Why are they cutting it?
Because of everything, the economy, like how expensive
23%
in their specific holiday spending. So like what, you know, you
originally gonna get mom,
you were gonna get mom $100, you're getting her $77. Quick 23% off. But they're also very big, and this cracked me up. I was gonna ask you, I think I know your answer. They're big on second-hand shopping for presents.
Wow.
Never have I ever given someone a used item.
Regifted, as everybody has. But that's an unopened,
totally different,
sat in your closet gift. That's still good. You just didn't use it.
This is like, they don't specifically call out Goodwill, but you know, there's a lot of resale shops now with clothing and whatever. But like, imagine opening and being like, thanks for these worn boots by somebody else you got.
Well, you know who's somewhat been doing that to me recently is Amazon. They send me stuff that's clearly been worn once. And I'm like, here's the thing, Amazon. If you're going to do that, you can't charge me full price.
Right.
I don't want the new price. I want the half new price.
Yeah.
And I send that stuff back. And I write in the comments, this was clearly worn. Like, the tag is off.
Yeah. That's, okay, Amazon, this is like a separate thing, but they should and could easily create that marketplace.
Yes.
I agree. I think returns have gotten out of control, and I know they accept them, and that's great when you are the consumer to be like, no, I don't want this, or oops, I kept it for so long, send it back. But people are really taking advantage.
I take advantage of it. I will admit that.
But you wear stuff and will send it back.
No.
See, that's like, those are the people that are like, well, I wore it to my event and now it comes back and you're like, there's deodorant stains on this. This is disgusting.
But they could easily add a little toggle in their Amazon website. Yeah. Jeff Bezos, come to us.
I know you're listening.
Come to us if you need an idea. Where that says, or you could buy it used at half the price.
Yeah.
And then they could ship that stuff back.
I know what it's called. There's a whole website about this called Rebel. This sounds like we're doing a plug. I wish Rebel was sponsoring this. It came up, though, in my new moms group. They have a very good selection of baby products that have been certified never used but opened by new.
Well, and it's like, what else is left after that? Like Facebook Marketplace? Like, I don't want to deal with those weirdos.
I know.
And every time I do Facebook Marketplace, they come and they haggle with me on the spot about the price. I'm like, we agreed. And I'm too nice, so I just go with them. Like, yeah, sure, that works.
God, Lauren.
Like, just get out of here.
Just leave me alone. Forget where I live. There's
okay, so conspiracy theories?
Yes.
Okay, so these are...
You gave me a little preview via text today.
One of them it gets a little weird. So let's talk about Candace Owens. Now, I'm going to do the political ones, but I'm going to do them way after they've happened because I don't want to be perpetuating, like, a problem.
Right.
So Candace Owens right now has become a conspiracy theorist, by the way. Do you know who that is, Candace Owens?
Yes.
Yeah. And so she is perpetuating a couple things. One, this whole Charlie Kirk shooting thing. Yeah. She is saying it did happen, but it was a complete and utter setup, that it was not random, right? It was not some random person who had a problem, who maybe got a little radicalized. She thinks that this Tyler Robinson was completely set up, and she's got a bunch of pieces of evidence, so I'm going to talk through what those are. So, first of all, she says the University of Utah.
I actually don't remember where it happened, but where he was speaking.
Yeah, Utah gave multiple locations that Charlie Kirk could hold the event. And they said, we recommend you don't go outside because it's really hard to stabilize and get security for. And Charlie's Turning Point USA kind of team said, no, we want to be outside. They like purposely went against the recommendation. That's point of evidence one. She has a bunch of stuff on Tyler Robinson, who's the guy that is alleged to have shot Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
That he was super smart, so why would he have made a huge manifesto? That his text messages to his lover, if you remember, they released those.
No.
They were like 1822 talk. Like, it would be like, they would say things like, my
beloved.
Yes, exactly.
I have traversed the seas.
Yes, my vehicle is not in the spot it's supposed to be. So she's very on top of it that, like, that's not how Tyler Robertson talks. She thinks the FBI made up those text messages. Okay. By the way, Tyler Robinson's still pleading his innocence. She says that he was seen at Dairy Queen. She claims that, like, nobody who's just shot someone with the adrenaline pumping through them could also then go to Dairy Queen. He was seen at Dairy Queen right after eating a cone or something.
Isn't that very similar to where Luigi?
Yeah, Luigi, yes.
What is his name? Wasn't he at a fast food spot?
He went to McDonald's with the stuff in his backpack.
Yeah.
Interesting. So her whole thing is she thinks Tyler Robertson was basically part of a massive team that set this up, and he's the fall guy. And he was seen at this Dairy Queen not only eating ice cream but dumping clothes. So she is strung together that his role in this is that he was the costume guy. He was there to make sure the changes of clothes were the right thing. Okay. She claims that he's
not the shooter.
Correct. She claims that he's never set foot on the university campus. That's untrue. It's been proven untrue. She says that right before the Turning Point USA where Charlie Kirk was shot, that there were text messages that have been leaked of Charlie Kirk's where he said he lost a huge Jewish donor because he won't cancel the Tucker Carlson interview that he did. So she's building this case that, like, there's this, like, larger Jewish element that's coming in and, like, suggesting that Charlie Kirk needs to be taken out because he's, like, speaking in anti-Semitic code and stuff like this. She claims that Erica Kirk, Charlie's wife, was more of an arranged marriage, that potentially Erica knew this was going to happen, that she was in on it. A couple of things around that, right? There's this whole conspiracy around their engagement was so fast. She doesn't really have a social media footprint outside of, after she got married to Charlie Kirk. Anyways, so she's down this whole path of this conspiracy theory. I think at the end of the day, and this is what we know about conspiracy theorists, is like they take things that are really chaotic and they try and attach meaning to them. Yeah. And I think she was somewhat friendly with Charlie Kirk. I think he knew her. I think they obviously grew kind of up together, almost like they became public around this at the same times. And I think what it is a little bit of like she can't believe he's dead, so she has to attach a lot of points of evidence to like making sense of this. Yeah. I mean, that's giving her the massive benefit of the doubt. Yeah. But I mean, this conspiracy has been floating around for a while. This is quite old news at this point, but I thought it was, relevant to bring on. Yeah. And it's interesting. She's got a lot of pieces of evidence, some that have actually even been proven false. The one thing with Candace Owens that I've always thought was true, but maybe it's not, is that she's very factual and like she's basically a investigative journalist, right? Oh, okay. Which means that you have to be rooted in facts. Yeah. But some of the stuff she's talked about recently has been proven like completely inaccurate. The second conspiracy is the Titanic. And how it sank, Okay. So there is...
I was obsessed with this as a kid. I loved
the Titanic.
All things
Titanic.
God, I
know. It was...
Like the movie, but I just loved everything about it.
I know somebody, a friend of mine too, who's still obsessed with it. So, here's the conspiracy. And this is kind of cool, I think. So, J.P. Morgan was the backer of the Titanic. He had the insurance policy, and he also owned the parent company.
All comes back to the Real Housewives, Sonia Morgan.
Sonia, get on this and comment.
Love it.
Okay, and the conspiracy is that basically there's a ship called this Olympic, and Olympic was a piece of shit. Excuse my French. And collided with something called HMS Hawk, and the repairs were expensive and incomplete. They couldn't fix the ship. The ship of Olympic looked exactly like the Titanic, down to the interior matching precisely. The bathrooms, how the layout was, the rooms of the guests, the captain's quarters, everything would match the Titanic perfectly, right? But they couldn't fix it fully after this like collision with the Hawk. And so it was a financial disaster. So what JP Morgan did was he wanted to claim the insurance on the Olympic. Yeah. So he switched out the Titanic and the Olympic last minute before the Titanic takes its voyage. There's other elements to this. So JP Morgan, last minute, was supposed to be on the Titanic, and he canceled right before it. He was seen in France shopping and doing other things. The people that were on the ship, though, John Jacob Astor, Benjamin Guggenheim, and Isidor Strass, apparently were hugely rich and wealthy, influential men in America, and they were all against a centralized banking system. So other people are saying that this all happened because
kill them.
He wanted to kill them because they were opposed to his central banking system.
Oh my God.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And then other weird things, which if you think about it, you're like, why is that the case? That they didn't have enough lifeboats.
Yeah.
Like, why didn't they have just enough lifeboats for everybody?
Right.
And then there were no nearby ships, not close enough to respond in time.
Yeah.
Like, not one ship.
Back then, how many ships were floating in the Atlantic at the same time? I mean, now with trade route, like, whatever.
Especially because it was clearly in, like, colder waters, like, how many ships would be up there? And then, the last thing was that he pressured the White Star Line, which is the kind of operator of the ship, to keep the voyage date, even though they flagged him that there was ice warnings. So maybe JP Morgan. We'll never know. Sonia, if you're out there, please confirm or deny.
Last year, I went to the Titanic Museum, which is in Ireland because it's one of the ports they left from, Cove. And they didn't discuss any of this.
I thought you were going to say, I saw the blah, blah, blah. And it really was. They did
not tell me that JP Morgan killed everyone.
So if you're ever
that's weird.
What was it, the tour?
The tour at the Titanic Museum.
You should, whoever's on that tour
would be like,
I
dare you to ask the person leading it, did JP Morgan kill everyone? And they'll be like, what?
So tell us about JP Morgan's cancellation.
I heard about it on a podcast once.
How in those days could you even cancel on time? Like, you send the letter by
telegram,
like by pigeon, will not show up, please refund my money.
By the way, I own the boat, so
I'm not coming.
Yeah.
Anyway, so two conspiracy theories, both a little bit complex, more than usual.
Yeah. Love the Titanic one. That one was interesting.
Anyway, Jessica, great talking to you.
See you, Lauren.
Bye.
Bye.